now tuning in to the PRI, Prolific Redefined Individual. Finna talk about something. And guess what? I ain't even gonna lie. This is personal. It's a personal subject. So I expect some people to get offended. I expect some people to dislike this. I'm expecting that. But I'm gonna still get my point across. You know me. I don't waste no time. I get straight to it. The topic of this matter for today is going to be called Black Women, Y'all Losing. Let me tell y'all. The reason why I say black women is losing is because of the simple fact y'all have let the white woman come in and take the black man from you. Y'all have let other races come in and take what belongs to y'all. Y'all let other races come in and take y'all hairstyles. They take y'all booties. They take y'all big titties. They take y'all braids. They take y'all when y'all get the weave extensions. They have took y'all whole style, right? And done dispersed it, basically outsourced it to every other race in the United world, not United States. And they have also have y'all to believe that independency is the number one thing when it comes to a black woman. But instead of educating you guys on knowing that independency means something totally farly different than what's being perceived to you through these rap videos, these female rappers, these LGBT rappers and singers and this, that, and the third. See, independent, like Webby said, do you know what that means? INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? I'm explaining to you what that means. When you are independent, that means you do not rely on child support. You do not rely on food stamps. You don't work a job. Let me repeat that. You don't rely on child support. You don't rely on food stamps. You don't have a job. You don't work a 9 to 5. That's not independent, first and foremost. And these three things right here, the black woman either has one or the three, or basically got all three of them. But let you tell it, you are independent. What it is you are codependent. Independent and codependent is two different things. Black women, if you guys were so independent, when you have children from a man and you know that he ain't got it together up here, or if he's hurt your feelings and this, that, and the third, you knowing that men are not taught really how to raise women, or men, we are not taught how to treat an actual woman. We only go by what we know and what we see our mothers or fathers, or we have to go through life figuring shit out. We don't mature as fast as you guys. So you guys have a little bit more sense that's why you guys deal in emotions. Men, we don't deal in emotions. If a man deals in emotions, that means he's quote unquote soft. That doesn't mean that at all. But I don't want to jump subjects or topics. Black women, you have gotten accustomed to believing that bending over and shaking your ass and showing your pussy and showing your asshole literally on social media is your ticket to fame. Were you raised like that, or were you just a follower? It all boils back to being codependent. You rely on something to build up you. Independent means you create your own. When you create your own, you don't work unless you're working to invest. Your business generates off of you. You generate a residual income that you created. Working a 9 to 5 does not show signs of independency. Working a 9 to 5, which I ain't even gonna lie, I have a 9 to 5, I do, but I understand that I'm not fully independent yet. But my goals is to work to become independent. You work to invest. That's why it's work. But that's a whole nother language. Black women, you have been dummied down to the point to believing just because you have a sex organ, which is a vagina, that is the power that rules the world. You've been misled. Coochie does not rule the world. It does not. The knowledge rules the world. That's why if you notice, everything comes from a man. I'm going to say that again. Everything comes from a man. You may can retort back and be like, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like women this and women that. First of all, a woman came from a man. Period. A woman cannot be designed on her own. She had to stem from something. And even this is for the LGBT community. Remember, you guys are the way that you are because you know that you guys can't, really be accepted like that. But since Obama signed off on it for you guys to be accepted, now you just out and about. Women that are gay, you have to have sperm, DNA, whether you get artificially inseminated, whether you go to the sperm bank, sweetheart, they're not creating that on their own. It comes from a man. You have surrogate mothers that are lesbians that get paid to have babies. But you got to remember, you can't drink sperm and then get pregnant. You have to get injected. So always remember, this is from the LGBT community, sweetheart, you have to get something stuck in you and injected in you in order to become pregnant. Just because you're not using the man body, you're using the man DNA. You know what that means? That's not independent. That's codependent, which means you want the man, not the physical form, but you want the DNA of the man. That's not independent. Independence, another term, you actually be in touch like the Virgin Mary. That's independent. You creating a baby on your own. That's independent. Black women, independency, when you say I pay all my bills, I got my own car, I got my own house. Those are the other three of those first three that clash with each other. Your own house. You don't have your own house. You're probably renting. You're probably in an apartment. apartment is a occupied dwelling. A house is a structure, occupied structure. If you don't own the physical land, you don't own your house. Just because you may have paid it off, you still have to pay taxes once a year. You don't own your house. You own the dwelling, but you don't own the land. That's not independent. That's still codependent because you rely on something. Black women, y'all feel the need that a man got to kiss your ass in order to get something from you? No. A man that has no knowledge and is dumb to reality, that's what the black woman takes advantage of. They prey on what you don't know. That's what it is. So if you're preying on something, that means you prey on the weak. Black women, you've been trained now to prey on the weakness of a man and use it against him. If you notice, a lot of black women are gay. But if you notice, a black woman will turn gay before a man turn gay. If a straight man know he can't get no female, he's not running to find a man. Guess what he's doing? Guess what he'll do? He crosses over. That's why you see a lot of white women with a lot of black men, because the black woman has been trained in her mind to believe that she runs the world. And you know what? This method here all goes back to the Willie Lynch letter. If black women, if you guys are so independent, this, that, and the third, then go read the Willie Lynch letter. You'll realize where this came from, where that method of how y'all think, where it comes from. Black women, you can't even tell me how y'all train of thought is. If y'all act off emotions, then that means because you're doing things out of emotions. Men are not taught to be emotional. We are taught to be driven, hard, tough, endure, pain. Men that are emotional all the time, they're considered to be sissies. They're considered to be gay. They're considered to be feminine men. Feminine men. A man that has woman intentions. And no man should have a feminine side of a woman. Black women have known to men to raise their children without the fathers in the household. If you take away the father from out of the house, then how can you not expect the son to grow up to be feminine? Because he's learning from a woman. You switch the process, let a man teach a boy or his son how to be a man. The chances of him being a full-fledged man are higher. Because a man is going to teach his son the exact right way. He's going to teach him the opposite of what was taught to him. And maybe what was taught to him, he had to learn through life because his dad wasn't there. So, of course, he's going to do the opposite. He'll take some methods that he learned from his mother and he'll inquire them in with his methods. Black women, you have degraded yourself to the point to where every time when somebody see you, you just look like a trick. You look like a prostitute. Every time all that bending over and dancing, showing your ass and your raw pussy or whatever, that just goes to show that you have no kind of, you don't care about yourself. But every time you want to use pussy to try to manipulate the man. That's why female artists, they only get so far in the game. They only get so far. But do you know they got to sleep with and do and take so many things? You know what I'm saying? That's why they be done ended up on drugs, or they be done committed suicide. But they don't tell you that though. Black women, you've given up on the black man when the black man has needed you for a long time. Because certain keys you have held and y'all have kept sacred to yourselves and have been selfish enough to see that the black man needed y'all, and y'all turned y'all back, knowing that he didn't know how to really treat you. But when he make a mistake, you'll say you're a man and you're supposed to know. But if he wasn't taught it, he wasn't taught it. But you'll hold him accountable for something that he wasn't taught. Selfish, unfair. Scale tilts the other way. So I say that to say this. Black women, we're in an age where the most highlight you may have is reality TV show. And you sell out. You'll do anything for fame and for money and for clout. You'll get on national TV, make a jackass out of yourself, prove and show what kind of untrained home discipline your mother didn't have in you, show you that getting on a pole and stripping. Oh, and by the way, do you know where stripping came from? Stripping didn't come from the black woman. Stripping came from the white woman in Europe. So the white woman don't do nothing but just sit back and be like, okay, all I got to do is just take this, that, and the third, take her style, take this, take that, take this, take that, and just add it in with what I do. And that's what it is. And society has painted that. A lot of black men have been incarcerated, have been killed, so it's like it's the last of a dying breed. But the people that hold the knowledge on a certain level, now I ain't talking about the people behind the scenes. I'm talking about the every typical day women. Women, you guys should be educating the black man and really getting an understanding to get him to know taking care of his family is way priority versus him trying to be the man. Teach him how. But guess what? Black women, you can't teach a black man how to be a man if you ain't never had a real one. If you never really had one to teach you. If you was raised in a household where your mama was always told you, don't never do this for a nigga. Don't never fuck a nigga unless he giving money. If a nigga ain't paying your bills, don't never this, if you was brought up like that, then 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to teach your children. To get it how you live. So get it how you live, you know what that means? Catch on and learn shit as you go through life. To not only learn from your mistakes. But don't teach nobody nothing. Like, share, and subscribe. If you feel some type of way about what I'm saying, please, I love to hear all the comments. I would go toe-to-toe with any black woman about this. But you got to remember something. And like I said, then Donald Trump said it best. When a black man start thinking, you're in trouble. So as all the women are becoming gay and feeling like they don't need a man and this, that, and the third, guess what the man is doing? I still need a woman. And guess what? Going to the white woman, going to the foreign, going wherever. Because a man is not going to lose his pride and his dignity over a black woman. When it's more other women out there that will treat him way better and will do for him way better. And they'll treat him the way that he will treat them.